Yo, so I am here with my boy Andre. Is your last name Sylvester? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep, Sylvester, just like Stallone.
Right, Sylvester Stallone, right? Rocky boy. My bro, my bro Andre was toughing it out on a pint with the stock battery. Then he upgraded to the quart. How's that been treating you?
Man, I actually love the court battery because the thing with the pint is the range anxiety will always get you, but because you never want to stop the fun. With the court, I'm allowed to double up my fun time.
Right. Yeah, and you were always a trooper about that. You're like, man, I'm gonna just ride till I my joint die. I'm gonna just roll.
Oh,
I'm rolling till it ends. We're gonna just make it work for as long as it works. And it's like it always sucked to leave riders behind. So it's good that now you can hang. It's cool, man. I'm glad you joined the ranks of the extended range family.
appreciate it, bro.
No doubt. But yeah, let's jump into the talk. So today we are here to discuss one wheel versus PTSD. One wheel and how it helps us as riders deal with day by day stress. Not always intense stress, but sometimes intense stress. Just for a little background, myself, I am the son of two disabled veterans. Actually, I something I don't talk about. I look after a family member who has extreme schizophrenia, bipolar, so it can be a bit much, and I can't begin to process and truly understand what it would feel like to deal with those feelings. And that's why I figured we talk to someone who has expressed that, sometimes it can be hard, to have those feelings. And I wanted to get your perspective on how you feel about this one will community that we have in DC and if it has helped you and your experiences. But first, let's start by giving people a little bit of background information about yourself, Andre.
All right. Well, first, let's give a shout out to your family members. Thank you for their service. I
Respect.
myself am a Navy veteran, so shout out to all the vets out there. Um, but also want to take time, and PTSD is definitely not exclusive to the veteran community. But as a veteran, I will definitely speak on it from a veteran's perspective. Um, I served the Navy from 2010 to 2014, and I did a deployment out there in the Horn of Africa. For me, what a big trigger for me was that I lost some friends, and I ended up having to, work on, preparing remains to get back to the States. And that just was, it kind of hit me hard because I've always been a real people person. I love people. I joined the service because I do believe in serving my community, and that's just how I felt would seem to fit me. My grandparents were veterans as well. So having been triggered, and full disclosure, I've had several stays in psych units for losing my grips. And when I found the one wheel community, it actually was something that I've been able to hang on to. I find myself being an introverted extrovert. I do like being around folks, but only in small or personal situations. And with one wheeling, I'm literally in my own world with groups of friends. Like I'm sitting there riding next to you, all the others in the group, and it. Even though we're in a group, I still feel I'm in my own flight plane. You know what I mean? Like I'm in my own lane doing my thing. Just so happens to be around a group of others, and it allows me to feel comfortable in my own skin, which is sometimes, not gonna lie, that's something I tend to struggle with because I feel like having a mental health issue kind of made me feel like a leper at times. But the DC one wheel community has definitely embraced me since I've been here. I think I started riding about April or May of last year, coming out with the cherry blossom ride, and since then, I mean, between the community reaching out to me if just to check in to see how I'm doing because I'm honest about my mental health struggles. That's not something I ever expected, but it's more than welcomed. And from just going on little rides with me, just we don't even actually talk about what's actually going on, the triggers or anything. We just vibe, we float, we ride. I've even developed a little every other Friday thing, or whenever we get a chance, me and one of the other DC one wheelers get together and we have coffee like almost at least twice a month, almost just right there downtown in DC. Get together at the Lincoln, shoot up to Bluestone, that which is a coffee shop that we got introduced to by another one wheeler. Our man Bernie, that's back in Australia, introduced us to an Australian coffee shop,
He's in the
and
video right here, actually. Uh-huh.
right. And what's funny is I even got tattooed my little chibi art by Bronzo. You know, our
Right.
community is so diverse and really in tune with just, in my opinion, what it is to be stoked. You know what I mean? Like, what is stoke? I really feel the one wheel community exemplifies that, especially the DMV one wheel community. I can't speak on everybody because I haven't met everybody yet, but I plan to. You know, and it's given me a brighter outlook, not just, getting to look towards being able to float in my free time to help de-stress, but also to look forward to the people getting together. We also get together and do the capital area food bank. We give back to the community. The kids are involved. It's very family oriented. So I'm all I can say is I'm grateful for this community. I never expected it would be what it is that I joined up, but I'm looking forward to the future and sticking around.
Dude, yo, bro, that resonates so heavily. Yeah, for sure. Like I said in my last roll call video, I didn't have high expectations for it because, like I said, I'm not necessarily someone who makes my plans around going out to meet new people either. That is always something that I tend to be pushed into, but it was a pleasant surprise with the OneWheel community, and I'm happy to be having this chat with you, and honored to be hearing those words from you, bro, because I think just as much as you do, just as much as many other people in the community, I try to pour love and good vibes back into the area and try to literally spread the stoke in so many different ways. So man, it's so good to hear other people like yourself who are saying that they feel comfort and a sense of camaraderie and a genuine connection with the other riders in this area, because I've been around, I met riders from other areas, and DMV space is special, man. We got a special group, bro.
I believe it. I really believe it. I mean, shoot, I I didn't know I was gonna meet a celebrity meeting
Wow.
you when I first.
Wow, man.
No, but you know what's crazy is like I saw your videos before I knew anything about one wheeling. So that's the funny thing. Like, cause I'm a gamer and I'm always sitting on YouTube,
Word.
and you're and I as a skateboarder, I longboard. I was looking at different things, and the one wheel videos kept popping up. I'm like, okay, I definitely need to get one of those. I really want. And then I was like, the one wheel wing video kept popping up, and I'm like, what's the one wheel wing? And I'm starting to watch these videos. I'm like, yo, this is so sick. And I was like, that'd be dope. And then one day I'm just sitting there, didn't know nothing about demo days. And I had already ordered my pint before I even started coming to demo day. And you were at the demo day, you gave me some of my tips when I first started riding. I was like, yo, this community is so sick. Like, there's just so many layers to it. I mean, it's dope.
Oh man, bro. I'm glad I lived up to the expectations. That's what's up, man. Heck yeah, man. I don't think of myself as no celebrity. I'm a regular rider like everyone else. I'll just be trying to share my experiences, which I hope that people, end up having a better one wheel experience, or just as good a one wheel experience as I did. If I can help people miss a few crashes that would have possibly happened if they had less experience, then I did my part. So yeah, man, bro. Oh man, dude, we have so much fun at demo day, man. Dude,
Yes, you do.
let's talk about like the freedom that comes with one wheel, because you mentioned that even though you're in a group, you feel like you're in your own world. And I feel the exact same way. I know that feeling. And you're at your own flight plane, like I'm like, yo, that
Right.
resonates so heavily. Like, man, like, do you find yourself, uh, do you go on just journeys by yourself? Especially now that, I mean, well, it's cold now, but like, how has the pint treated you? Has it gotten you out the house in different ways? Share with us a little bit.
the pint gets me out the house. I mean, so let's just say, even though it has a short battery, I'll find reasons. Like my nickname on my chippy is Jabba the Hutt, because you'll always catch me floating with a coffee. So if you can give me a reason to, I'm out floating on my pint. And I mean, that coffee run turns into a 2 to 3 hour just joyride. You know what I mean? Like the same way anybody would get in their car and just do, go for a cruise along the highway. Like, there's no need for that with a one wheel, because most businesses, when you come as and you're respectful, they see it, they welcome you, and oh sure, charge up. I'm just gonna have a drink right here while my thing charges, and they come ask you questions about it. It's never been too real rude or pushy. And then the thing about the pint is it's so carvy. I feel like I'm dancing on my one wheel half the time, because I just like the soundtrack of life. You know what I mean? Like I'm out here, I'm waving to people, but they don't exist. Like, it's just, they're there. You catch the glimpse in your side view. Somebody's waving at you. You're like, oh, they think this is cute. That's great. But I'm in my own world. I'd love to talk to you right now. Like, I gotta finish this shred. You know what I mean? Like, this is so much more important than talking to you.
Right. No, I agree. I agree, man. No, 1,000%, dude. That's so. Oh man, because we look at like you said, PTSD is not something that's exclusive. Just we got a longboarder in our group today. Look at that. But
Right there.
that's crazy. But yeah, so PTSD is not something that's exclusive to just soldiers. It's something that a lot of people are experiencing, especially now with the pandemic and things crazy. People are wondering if life is ever going to go back to normal. And dude, I don't know if you agree with this, but like when I ride my one wheel, like I'm not thinking about that stuff.
Not at all. Like, you don't have a care. Like, you really take flight. Like it to me would be the equivalent of if we could be like Navy pilots, or Air Force pilots, just in our own little jet lane. You know what I mean? Just doing loops and swirls in the air, and like,
Just-
what? I don't care. I'm like a bird right now. I'm
Right.
soaring. Like, there's
See,
nothing.
I'm sorry. Go for it. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, just there's just nothing on my mind right now, but the beauty of what's happening at this moment.
Right. No, agreed. Yeah, it's a gorgeous view. I was thinking about the fact that how Cody was holding up the rear, like no man left behind. Like Cody is always holding us down in that way and
Yep.
making sure that the paths are good and riders are straight. We take care of our riders. But yeah, it is such a gorgeous view. What is your favorite place to ride in DC area? Or ever. DC and then ever in your lifetime of riding.
Okay, so I will say in DC, um, my favorite ride is gonna have to be around the memorial and the monuments,
Okay.
and mostly because it's really central for us. Like, it tends to be our number one meetup spot to branch out into many different rides, whether we're going up to Bethesda, whether we're going south, and we branch out right there from Lincoln Memorial. So that's like the epicenter to me. And anything, the tourists that everybody just, what I mean, one wheelers out randomly be just floating around, and you can bump into right by Lincoln Memorial or the reflecting pool. It's it's a meeting spot of like minds. So I really love that central area. I'm not a DCer. I'm originally from New York, so I
Okay.
will say the best place my favorite place is when I got to float with the group in New York on that very wet ride that we went
Oh,
on.
when the DMV group
Yeah,
all made a trek up there. I was up there, but it was too wet for me to take the board out. Y'all have fun, man. How was that? Talk to us about that.
that as a pinter, I had to break off early, because I mean that day was. But I will say my pint probably was the best built to withstand it, right?
Correct. Yeah, the pint is a submarine, man. When it's pouring, I would take my pint out without hesitation. Like without hesitation. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go for a ride. Like the pint can handle it. That's cool, man. Yeah, New York, man.
Yeah,
I'm actually working on a YouTube video about what's happening in New York with the laws and different stuff. We touch on that later, but I've hit some of those bridges, and man, those bridges are so awesome to ride on, dude.
they are. And that I even haven't even gotten to do myself. And like you were saying, the laws are changing, and I want to make sure I don't want it to change the experience. But I'm a very respect when they ask me to move. I don't like to impede because that's the other part is we're a respectful community. I don't believe that many of us. I mean, everybody tries to have a little bit more fun, but for the most part, we're very respectful when it comes to the different laws and things. Like we might not agree with everything, but hey, we'll go into another area or respect the wishes of others and stuff. So I I like that. We don't have a bad name, when they see us coming, a lot of times it's just, hey guys, it's
Right. I was
awesome.
literally going to ask you what you think about the DMV reputation. Yes, we are welcome in many places.
Yeah, we're
Cool,
just a
cool,
fun,
cool.
humble group. Yeah, we're a very humble, fun group.
Dude, heck yeah, man. Oh my gosh, bro. Yes. Oh my gosh. So right now I'm taking everyone up this hill. And at the top of the hill, when you look back, you won't be able to see it in the camera, but you can see the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and the Capitol building over the stretch of the hill. Oh, that's what I was gonna say, bro. Let's plan another trip up to New York then.
Yes. Oh, as soon as when it's warm again, because
Oh yeah,
no,
true.
I don't think. Yeah, nobody wants to deal with it. Mhm. But that one thing I will say, cities like DC and New York having those bike lanes and the increasing of them gives us more room to like they are some of these cities are more pedestrian friendly. New Yorkers are always on foot. So as a skateboarder growing up, I mean, I did skate in the street because less people, but with the lanes now, I'm so stoked. I want to float through Philly, New York. There's no end in sight.
Right. No, I agree 1,000%, man. I think that as the one wheel is becoming more and more visible, more and more people will get on one wheels and get a chance to experience what it is that we experience, because it's really hard to put into words what it's like to float on a one wheel. I try to tell people that there's nothing like it. Like literally, I've ridden my one wheel like 700 plus days in a row now, and it doesn't get old. And it is such. You meet great people like Daryl, who's in the video right now. You meet great people like chill people like Daryl, who have found one wheel, and it gets them out of the house. It gets them out of their stresses. It gets them out of their, whatever their little space that they could find themselves trapped in. And it's just so freeing. I did not know you were from New York, dude. How long did you live up there?
So I was originally born in Mount Vernon area. I'm from Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
My whole family out there. I'm Trinidadian, St. Lucian, West Indian community. So we've been there our whole lives. My mother, and when I was a kid, we moved to Houston. So I also did back and forth. I finished high school though out of New York, and then that's
Okay.
also where I left before I joined. When I went to the Navy,
I
left
was
right
gonna
after.
ask you, yes. Okay, so you left Houston. Or wait, you left where to go to New York? I mean to the Navy?
I left New York to go to the Navy.
Got you. Okay, okay. And then what was it that I mean I'm guessing there wasn't anything cool like one wheel around. Then what was it, if you don't mind sharing, what was it that inspired you to go into the Navy?
Um, so me, my sport has been swimming. I've always been
Okay,
a
okay.
competitive swimmer, and so Brooklyn champs, 2002, 2003.
Oh, that's dope, man. All right.
like that
Word.
was so being a swimmer, wanting to join the services, I always felt the Navy was just
That
going to be
makes
the
sense.
the
Heck yeah.
best fit for me.
Did,
And,
since leaving the Navy and getting a one wheel, have you met any other veterans who are discovering one wheel?
yes, there's actually several veterans that are in our DMV one wheel group, and some active duty members. One of the active duty members is the one that I go and get coffee with. Me and Cal just reach out, go get coffee every once in a while. and it's fun getting together with him too because he also has a daughter, and
Yeah, they're
my
cool.
little girl is my little girl's not old enough yet, but she wants the one wheel, so then there's also, now that you mention it, speaking of the PTSD, I haven't gotten the pleasure of meeting the individual, but there's another veteran that floats, and he's created a group called Shred the Stress, and
Okay.
it's a PTSD initiative for veterans and mental health, trying to organize and get donations so that he can have a stock of boards to create like float therapy.
Nice sessions. That'd
So
be cool. Yeah, that's
yeah,
bro. We need that stuff. I mean, we need that stuff. That before you had OneWheel, do you feel like you felt a little less or more trapped and had fewer options of ways to get around the things that were troubling you?
I definitely did.
Uh-huh.
Um, I didn't feel that there was. I definitely did. I just had traditional standards of treatment. You
Right,
know,
right, right, right.
it's
Dang,
not that
bro.
they were bad. It's
Uh-huh.
just they didn't work for me. I'm also from a different generation. It's that just didn't speak to me, and I honestly never felt comfortable talking about feelings and stuff like
Right.
that.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean,
You
there's a
know?
big stigma in modern society for men to talk about how they feel about things, that can be perceived, we can be perceived as girly or whatever, or like not manly or weak if we express how we feel about things. So I totally understand that. And that's cool that I mean, because we've learned as adults and humans studying traumas and generational traumas and pressures from society of we've learned how much that can bear down on a human and how much that does suppress us being able to express ourselves and how much that bottled up pent up emotion affects us, so yeah, because usually they'll offer what, like, therapy with the stranger or drugs or stuff
Yeah.
of that nature, but like, yo, if one will could be legit therapy for people, that's kind of dope, bro. Like, yo, like, dude, Andre, yo, that's deep.
Recreational therapy. It's important.
Uh-huh. That is
It's
that is
really important.
cool, man. I never thought about I thought about how awesome One was, but I never treated it as therapy. That's beautiful, man. To be like, you know what? I had a stressful day. Literally, I'm just gonna go ride my board to free myself.
So I literally, if I'm triggered, there is a spot because I live in Bowie and there's like a pond and a bridge lookout. I go to that pond and I'll float over there and just sit for a little while and hear the reeds and the frogs croaking and stuff. And I just float over there. I mean, it's just so beautiful to be in nature. And then that's the other thing. You're one wheeling in nature. Like, yeah, we're on pavement, but we're in nature.
Right.
And it's just so serene. Like,
Surrounded by trees and life, birds, squirrels. The squirrels at the Lincoln Memorial be tripping.
yep,
Trippy.
yes.
'Cause, like, they're so friendly. They walk up to you, and it's just like, yo, like, it's surreal. That's like Disney World, like Disney type vibes, like where animals are congregating with humans. But yeah, man, the one world gets us out, man. That is fresh, bro. Like, oh my gosh. If Let me ask you this: if you as a writer could give advice to other writers who may be suffering from trauma or PTSD, and they're not comfortable with getting their feelings out, what are some suggestions you would give to them?
So just mostly it's being honest with yourself. You don't, it's not about having to talk to people, but being able to acknowledge with yourself what your issue is very important because at the end of the day, you don't want to lie to you. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's just like the gym. Maybe you just need that little push or that nudge to just get that little motivation to and maybe you're too tired to go to the gym, but once you finish, it always feels worth it. You feel the benefit, and for the same thing, sometimes I'm like, nah, I don't need a one wheel. I'm not in the mood. But once I get out there and I do it,
It's Cal. Eh,
it's I'm so glad that I did. I have never regretted getting on my board, but I have always regretted not.
I love that. He said, I've never regretted getting on, but I've always regretted not getting on.
Yes.
Wow. And being honest with self. Yeah, man. Dang, man. I appreciate those words. I appreciate those kinds of reminders. We all need those kinds of reminders, man. We all need those man, there's a genuine love that I have for you, man, that blossomed through us just kicking it, just vibing. And I feel like, when it comes to unwilling and these experiences we've had, I have gained some brothers. I can't say I'm brothers with every single rider I've come across, but I've gained some brothers that, you know, if they needed me and vice versa, I could truly say, yeah, they'd be there for me. They have been there for me. Riders have like literally helped sustain me through a lot of what I've been dealing with. And like my situation with my family member, who literally this person is so noided out to the point where, and she has weapons, you know what I mean, to hear her talking about how she almost used her weapon on a random stranger because she felt threatened by them is crazy. Because like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, that stranger at the train station had no idea that they almost got tased or shot today, you know what I mean, like, but but it's just but it was a rider who's like, yo, this is a number you could call to try to help get this person some help, or this is a number you can call, or these are some resources you can reach out to, or just hearing from other people saying like, yo, like we experience similar things. They have family members who are dealing with things, or hearing from people like yourself who feel like, yo, man, life is really, really hard. Sometimes I just want to give up. And I'm just grateful to have the family of one wheelers around who give a damn. You know what I mean? People who care. And man, thank you, Andre. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being a rider in the area. Thank you for being someone who helps out, someone who pitches in, someone who toughs it out. You, like you said, you had to break off early so many times at the pint. You never once complained. You never once made us feel bad about it. You were a super team player, man. You're just a genuine, awesome, good, down to earth dude that I enjoy being around. My lady enjoys being around you. She's like, man, I had this great chat with Andre. He's telling me about all these different things. He's such an interesting person. And when she heard that I was gonna be on the call with you today, she's like, oh, that's so good. Like, man,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, man, you're just a good dude. And we're just happy to have you and in the community, bro. And oh my gosh, love is love,
Thank
bro.
It is. Thank you, bro. Like for real. Like even reaching out to do this, and I'm very open about my mental health journey because I believe that there are a lot of people that aren't ready to talk, and sometimes hearing somebody else just being honest and open about their own struggles helps others. And if I can help anybody, that's all I'm here to do. Like I said, I mean, the community has helped me in more ways than one. They still check on me to this day, and I'm doing better than I was. But hey,
God.
we all need something, and sometimes everybody's always.
We lost you for a second. You said everybody goes through something. Do you remember what you said right afterwards?
I said everybody goes through something. We all need somebody at some point in time in our lives, and so just making sure that I can be there and pay it forward for somebody else because people have been there for me.
True. Yeah, man. Dude. Oh man. The video is almost over. We got about another 40 seconds. I'm gonna give the floor to you, bro. Is there anything that you'd like to plug and you want to drop your social media handle? I'll put it in the Instagram in the video, but if anything else you want to say to the people?
I mean, to the people, just keep spreading the love and the stoke. And if you haven't found your reason to stoke, check out OneWheel, and it might just be the thing you need for real. I mean, I'm not the most, you don't got to put my handle out there if people want to tag me or, join my page. I'll talk about my journey and every chance that I get, as far as mental health, because PTSD is in my handle. So
Right, right, right. Yeah, man. I'll definitely put your handle there so people can get a hand on you and reach out or just check in and when I post this, I'll obviously tag you and I just want to share this with the world, man, because like you said, there are a lot of people who may not be ready to share what they're going on or might feel like they can't share, like myself. Like I can't, there's certain stuff I just won't talk about. This is dangerous. But yeah, man, it was good chatting with you, bro. Thank you so much for making the time to 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 do this, man. It's just thank you for sharing your story and sharing your intimate truths and I hope that others hear this and that the information resonates and that it frees up something within them to the point where they're able to share their truths even if like you said it's just with themselves and hopefully we become better humans who love better as a result and yeah man you're awesome.
all right, bro. Thanks.
No doubt, man. But yeah, let's get up on a ride sometime soon. I'm in Zoom, bro. Um, yeah, man. One love.
Most def. Well, I'll definitely see you soon, bro. You have a beautiful day.
All right, you too.
All right, later.
All right, peace.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Because of the wonderful things he does. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.